All right, hola, hola, español 4. So en esta lección vamos a practicar el nuevo vocabulario. So we're going to be practicing in this lesson our new vocab, and we're going to be talking about un viaje en avión. So quite fitting with everything that's happening right now with travel, that this would be our next unit. But so we're going to be talking about vocabulario that goes along with like visiting an airport, planning a trip, or organizing a trip, and then what we're going to add to that is giving advice to people about making suggestions about safe travel, different things you should pack, and we'll be using the subjunctive, el subjuntivo, which you'll see here in la presentación on the title. Today, though, hoy, solamente vamos a escribir el vocabulario. Now, this vocabulario can be found on your paquete de vocabulario, and it is the one titled Ocho A, un viaje en avión. If you were not able to stop into school the other week with all the packs that I had available for you to pick up, you should print this up. I'll share it with you on Classroom as well. I think there's only one or two of you that didn't pick up the packets actually. So make sure you print that off if that's the easiest way for you to get your vocabulario to practice. So how this is going to work now with doing this all online, I'm going to go through the vocabulario with you. You should practice the pronunciación by repeating after me or repeating after the pronunciación that you'll get on Quizlet. I'll make sure all the vocab's on there for you as well. But it's going to be up to you to practice how to say it. At least in Español 4 at this point, you've had a lot of practice with Spanish already, so you get how most words are pronounced. Okay, not all of them still because they're new, but a majority of them. But you're really going to have to take some ownership over your learning here to practice this vocabulario. This is going to be more difficult for Spanish class than some of your other classes, I feel like, because we did so much in class review. And now a lot of that's going to fall on you guys. But without further ado, your tarea then para hoy is going to be just to copy down this vocabulario, all right? And then I'll post things throughout the week, the rest of the week, for you to practice it, okay? So here we go. Your vocabulario, this is what the vocab looks like, the one you're copying down on. But here we go. As we go through it then, make sure, like I said, you are practicing the pronunciación with me, all right? So, la agencia de viajes. La agencia de viajes. Travel agency. El agente de viajes or la agente de viajes. Agente de viajes is your travel agent. El equipaje. El equipaje, luggage. Extranjero or extranjera is foreign. Hacer un viaje. Hacer un viaje, to take a trip. La maleta. La maleta, suitcase. Hacer la maleta. Hacer la maleta, to pack a suitcase. El pasaporte. El pasaporte, it's passport. Planear. Planear. Oh, un momento. Okay, continuamos. Sorry about that. This is what's going to happen when I have 3 children at home when I'm doing this. So, planear. Planear is to plan. La reservación or las reservaciones is a reservation. La tarjeta de embarque. La tarjeta de embarque is your ticket of embarking or your boarding pass. El or la turista. El or la turista is your tourist. El boleto. El boleto. Okay, say hola, Cecilia.
Hola.
All right, now you can go. Okay. Adios.
Adios.
All right. El boleto is a ticket. Julie said it's okay, you can head over there. Okay, and then next section we're going to be talking about here then is talking about airports. All right, so this is going to be more the vocabulario that we're going to talk about different parts of an airport. And I'll try to explain the different pieces if you guys don't know these parts of an airport because you don't travel a lot. Abordar is going to be to board. Abordar. El aduanero or la aduanera is your customs officer. So now on your vocabulary, you guys are going to see I kind of made a mistake there. I just have el aduanero, customs officer. I forgot to put the female one with it. Okay, so just make sure and note of that because the next one here is going to be la aduana, which is customs. So change that one on your vocab. It says la aduanera. I forgot to put la aduana, so make sure you put that one in there, la aduana for customs. Now what customs is, if you have never traveled out of our country, customs is where you have to pass through before you come back into your country because they're going to check to see if you've brought any goods back with you, like foods, different types of souvenirs. They just want to make sure there's nothing foreign that you shouldn't be taking illegally from country to country. So that's where they will check, they will search your suitcase. And it's different than passing through a security checkpoint because here they're really going to check and ask you, what are you bringing back? Are you bringing back coffee? Are you bringing back any type of beverages or snacks or plants or things like that? Because a lot of times they get pretty picky about what you can and can bring back into the country. So that's what customs, la aduana, what that is, okay? Okay, continuamos. El aeropuerto is an airport. El anuncio is an announcement. They make the announcements over the intercom at the airport where they're saying like which gate is boarding or which plane. Con destino a, with the destination to, literally means going to. Con destino a. Con destino a Costa Rica. Con destino a España. Round trip. De ida y vuelta. De ida y vuelta. Round trip means you've got a ticket to get there and back. All right? Ida y vuelta. Directo. Okay, directo or directa. Usually this will be un vuelo directo, a direct flight. Flight means you've got no layovers. Means that you're flying directamente from MSP Airport, so the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, directly to Costa Rica. You're flying directly there. Rarely ever happens. We're always going to have to do a layover in the middle where you connect flights at a different airport. So directo just means direct flight there. No stops. Durar. Durar is to last. El empleado or la empleada is the employee. Oh, there it is again because I wrote it twice, I think, on yours. Yes, I did. Facturar. Facturar. El equipaje, por ejemplo. Facturar is to check, okay? To facture, literally. But if they're factoring it, they're checking your luggage. They're going through it, weighing it, checking its size. Hacer escala. Hacer escala literally be like to make a stop or to make a stopover. So to stop over would be like your checkpoint in between one place to another. Hacer escala. Inspección de seguridad. La inspección de seguridad. This is your security checkpoint. This is what you have to do after you get your ticket. You've got to go through security before you can even get into the airport, actually, where you can go and find your boarding gate, or any of the restaurants or little cafes or whatever they have in the aeropuerto, depending on what country you're at. But la inspección de seguridad is the next thing you do before you can go to the different puertas, the different gates. La línea aérea. Okay, la línea aérea is your airline. Northwest, Sun Country, Delta. Okay, these are all your different types of línea aérea. La llegada. Oh, la llegada is the arrival. La puerta de embarque. La puerta de embarque. This is your door of departure, okay? Your door of embarking, if you want to think of it, the door of embarking on your trip. But in Spanish, what in English it would transfer to is your departure gate. La puerta de embarque. Registrar. Registrar is to inspect or to search. Usually this is what they're talking about, luggage, okay? Registrar. El retraso. El retraso is a delay. La salida. La salida is a departure. El vuelo. El vuelo, flight. Okay, now we're going to go on to our next section. In el avión, in the airplane, in el avión. One of the things you have to do before takeoff is to fasten one's belt. Abrocharse el cinturón. Abrocharse el cinturón. Aterrizar. Aterrizar is to land. Procedente de. Procedente de, arriving from. Despegar. Despegar, to take off. El pasillo. Pasillo we've used as a hallway. It also is the aisle in your airplane. El pasillo. El compartimento sobre la cabeza. Cabeza. El compartimento sobre la cabeza is your overhead compartment. Literally, compartment above the head is how this directly translates. Piloto or la piloto. Okay, they're both the same. Piloto or piloto. You just change the L or la if it's a masculino or femenina. El or la auxiliar de vuelo. El or la auxiliar de vuelo, your flight attendant, the ones that'll serve the bebidas, answer any preguntas that you've got. Pasajero or pasajera is your passenger. And I wrote this one again too, so you've got passenger again written here, la pasajera. El avión. El avión is the actual airplane. La ventanilla. Ventana is a window. Ventanilla is your airplane window because it's such a small little window. La ventanilla. La tripulación. La tripulación is the crew. So the people all together on the plane, the crew of the plane. La tripulación. La salida de emergencia. Salida de emergencia is your exit of emergency or your emergency exit. La señal de no fumar. La señal de no fumar. Your no smoking sign. They actually talk about on airplanes now, if you haven't flown recently, about there's also be no vaping on the airplane. So that's a new one. They'll say like la señal de no vape, because that's what they're talking about that as well. La turbulencia. La turbulencia is a turbulence. That's when the planes could get a little bumpy in the air. La almohada. I thought this would be a good one to add. La almohada. Because a lot of us use pillows on the airplane, or la almohada de cuello, of the neck ones, those ones that wrap around. La almohada de cuello. I cannot travel without my neck pillow. Or my manta. Okay, la manta is your blanket. La manta. Otras palabras y expresiones. Abrir or abierto, open, not too open. Abierto or abierta. Bienvenido. Bienvenido is welcome. Or bienvenida if I'm talking to a girl, like bienvenida a Costa Rica if I'm saying to a girl welcome. If I'm talking to a guy, bienvenido a Costa Rica. Cerrado or cerrada. They might say like make sure el compartimento sobre la cabeza está cerrada. Make sure your overhead compartment is closed, is what they could be talking about with that. Insistieren, to insist. Listo or lista, ready. Listo or lista, ready. Sugerir is to suggest. Sugerir. Tendremos un buen vuelo. We will have a good flight. Tendremos, we will have. Tendremos. Tener paciencia. This is key. When you are in an aeropuerto, to have tener paciencia is muy importante. Okay? Because there's always going to be people that don't know what's going on, and you got to have patience with them. Tener paciencia. and verbos followed by que plus subjunctive. So these lista de verbos are the verbos that we're going to be practicing when we're talking about the subjunctive. I'm going to have you write them all down now, but your assignments here for this week that we're going to be practicing will only be dealing with vocabulario. Okay? But here are the verbos that we're going to be using a lot with the subjunctive. Decir, to say or tell. Decir, a verb you already know. Insistir en, to insist on. Insistir en. Necesitar, necesitar, to need. Permitir, permitir, to allow or to permit is what it looks like, to permit, but if you're permitting something, you're allowing it. Permitir. Preferir, to prefer. Preferir. Prohibir, to prohibit. Prohibir looks very similar, so that should be an easy one too for you to remember. Prohibir. Querer, querer, to want. Recomendar, recomendar, to recommend. Sugerir, to suggest. Sugerir. Oh, y es el fin, okay? So this is all your vocabulario, los verbos. Like I said, we'll be practicing your vocabulario more so this week. I'm going to give you the resources I have for that. And you'll have time. I'll post a little bit every day, but you have to finish it all by Friday, okay? If you don't get it done each night, that's totally up to you. You do need to check in for attendance every day, though, so I do know that everyone is out there and okay and checking classroom, okay? This is also on Edpuzzle. You've noticed that already. All my videos are going to be on Edpuzzles. Doesn't mean I'm putting questions with it, but it just means you have to watch it, okay? Sorry, guys, but you'd be watching this anyways if you were in class. So, all right. So, gracias, clase, por su atención y por su paciencia con señora, en todo este proceso. All right. So, gracias y adiós.